and welcome to Bank to Binary's Ahead of the Week report, bringing you all the important trading and market events for the 16th to the 20th of December. Don't forget that all times stated are Greenwich Mean Time. Monday starts off early with the Chinese HSBC manufacturing PMI out at 1:45 in the morning. An expansion in China's manufacturing industry can boost the Aussie dollar, as Australia provides many of the raw materials needed in Chinese manufacturing. So traders of the AUD-USD should set their alarm clocks. At 8 in the morning, French flash manufacturing PMI is released, followed by German flash manufacturing PMI at 8:30, both of which are expected to show an improvement on last month's figures. At 2 in the afternoon, European Central Bank President Mario Draghi speaks before the European Parliament's Committee of Economic and Monetary Affairs in Brussels. Last week, Draghi announced that the ECB wouldn't hesitate to allow struggling banks to fail. This type of strong leadership may benefit the euro in the short term, but is certainly bad news for the more unstable economies of the euro area. On Tuesday, it's all eyes on the UK and the release of CPI data at 9:30 in the morning, with economists forecasting no change from last month. At 10 in the morning, ZEW will publish its report on German economic sentiment, and at 1:30, the US will report core CPI figures for November. Later in the day, Bank of England Governor Mark Carney will testify before the House of Lords of Economic Affairs Committee in London. In a speech last week, Carney said that the British economy needs sustained low interest rates to promote growth, and that it will be interesting to see if he maintains this stance on Tuesday. Wednesday starts off with the German IFO Business Climate Report at 9 a.m. Half an hour later, and its claimant count change data from the UK. The percentage of unemployed Britons fell to 7.6% last month and is expected to remain unchanged, continuing a steady decline since a post-crisis peak of 8.3% in November 2011. On Wednesday evening, investors will be focusing on the US for the highly anticipated results of the Federal Open Market Committee meeting, which will be released at 7 o'clock, followed by a press conference at 7:30. While recent minor improvements in the US economy have raised investor speculations that the FOMC will begin tapering in the near future, most economists expect stimulus to continue at its current rate into the new year. The day finally comes to a close at 9:45 in the evening in New Zealand, with the announcement of GDP data, which is forecast to have increased from last quarter's 0.2%. Thursday, the 19th of December, begins with the UK retail sales figures at 9:30 a.m., while the afternoon will again be dominated by the US data. Last week, the number of unemployed Americans jumped to 368,000 from a three-month low of 298,000 on the 5th of December. Investors will carefully study unemployment claims data at 1:30 p.m. as the Federal Reserve has cited employment as a key factor in any decision to taper its $85 billion a month bond buying program. The release of existing home sales figures and the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index data at 3 in the afternoon will give binary options traders further insights into the health of the US economy. Moving on to Friday now. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and his cabinet last week approved an additional $53 billion in public spending for the current fiscal year, which ends in March, bringing total Japanese government spending to 98.1 trillion yen. Investors will be interested to see whether Japanese policymakers will find a way to strike a balance between boosting economic growth and decreasing the country's huge public debt. Look out for a monetary policy statement and press conference from Bank of Japan in the early hours of Friday. At 9:30 in the morning, the UK will report on its current account, and at 1:30 in the afternoon, Canada is set to release core CPI and core retail sales data, while at the same time it's back to Washington for final US GDP. And that concludes our roundup of the key trading events for the 16th to 20th of December. Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel for more market analysis. Thanks for watching Ahead of the Week. We wish you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and all the best for the holiday season from the team at Bank to Binary. Until next year, goodbye.